Hello, and welcome to this series of presentations from the Great CERQual group. In this session, I'll be talking about how to assess the adequacy component of Great CERQual. I am Benedicte Carlsen from the University of Bergen and Western Norway University of Applied Sciences. And I'm presenting on behalf of the Great CERQual project group. The Great CERQual approach consists of 4 components: the methodological limitations component, the coherence component, the adequacy component, and a relevance component. In this session, you will learn about the adequacy component. The learning objective for this session is that you will understand the role of the adequacy component in a Great CERQual assessment and be able to apply this component to a finding from a qualitative evidence synthesis. When assessing adequacy, we assess the degree of richness and quantity of data supporting a review finding. We are less confident that the finding reflects the phenomenon of interest when the data underlying a review finding are not sufficiently rich or only come from a small number of studies or participants. This means that review authors need to make a judgment on what constitutes data that are not sufficiently rich or too small a number in the context of a specific review finding. Now, I will show you some typical examples of review findings that may evoke concerns regarding adequacy of data. Example 1. A finding may be based on many studies, but may include only very thin data that provide little explanation of the reasons underlying the phenomenon of interest. And example 2. A finding may be based on only one study. You may assess this as raising concerns about adequacy, even if this study is very detailed and includes thick description of the phenomenon of interest. In other words, you may have concerns regarding the adequacy of data if there are insufficient details to gain an understanding of the phenomenon described in the review finding, or the review finding is supported by data from only one or very few studies, participants, or observations. Finally, I would like to share with you a couple of tips regarding the assessment of adequacy. Firstly, when review findings are simple and primarily descriptive, relatively superficial data may be sufficient. Secondly, when review findings are complex or explanatory, you may have concerns if the finding is based on data that is too superficial to allow a sufficient exploration of the phenomenon. This presentation was based on the work of the Great CERQual project group. If you want to learn more about the Great CERQual and for further reading, you can visit our website, join the mailing list, or join the project group. Thank you.